Welcome to Leaf 4 Review.
This week we're smoking a goodie. We've got the San Cristobal Ovation.
Nice.
Yeah. Take one.
You guys don't know this, but I'm standing for this because it's Ovation.
Oh, boy.
Corn joke opening.
Hey, how many kids do you have?
None.
Because those are dad jokes.
No, see, the funny thing is Dan actually is standing in all of these. It's just how tall.
That's right,
Nice. I looked, actually, when you said it. I'm like, what?
I guess it's
Don't
worth.
forget to take the ribbon off.
It's worth
Really?
noting.
Are you sure?
It's worth noting this is the Ovation opulent size.
Thank you.
There's 3 sizes now. Three sizes.
That smells good.
That does smell good.
What are we working with, Seth?
So this is actually rolled by the My Father company in Esteli, Nicaragua. So it's a Nicaraguan filler and binder with a Mexican San Andreas Oscuro wrapper.
It's worth noting too the Ashton website. Oh man, is that a crack? Oh no, it's just a vein. It's a 2.5 year double fermentation wrapper. That's off the Ashton website.
Dark and lustrous.
Got some nice sting to the nostrils.
Lusty draw.
Stings to nostrils. Works every time, 60%.
What are you getting on there?
Just like your punch cutter.
Yeah, like I'm gonna try it again
got some
today and
bump.
see if I can do it.
What are you sipping?
I am having just a little splash of Basil Hayden's Dark Rye. I think it's going to go well. A little sweetness. Kentucky straight rye, a little Canadian rye, and then they age it in port barrels, give a little sweetness.
Yep.
Speaking of sweetness, I do get some
Yeah,
sweet notes on
yeah.
the end of this.
It's kind of a molassesy kind of.
It's a funky sweet.
There's a funk to it.
Got some dust in my nose. Tobacco dust.
But there's a funk to it. I want to know what you think on the cold draw.
Seems like
Molasses.
Yeah, and I get I'd obviously get tobacco from it, but there's a sweetness to it.
Man, I have got a really big vein right on the outside here. It goes all the way under the wrapper.
Yeah, I see that all the way down.
Or all the way under the band.
Yeah.
damn.
Goes down through here too.
Is that the seam or is that
It's a vein from the wrapper leaf.
It's a pretty veiny.
I'm sparking.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's rock it. I pulled out one of my old classic lighters for this.
What do you got there?
It's pretty much, I think I'm confident to say the original Flat Flame. They actually don't make this lighter anymore. This is the Lotus Black Label Dictator. Great lighter. I've had it for a long time. It's missing a screw or two. Still trucks along like a champ though. Original MSRP is $150.
It's a very cool flame on it.
I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Just to do the comparison between like, Cigar, the Verano, and this is much quieter.
It is silent.
Quiet.
How does it do on fuel?
Good.
It's kind of interesting too, because where that flame comes out and then it fans and then goes to like a point almost. It's
Yeah,
really
that's
cool.
cool.
I mean, it's like a diamond shape.
And
almost.
obviously fuel, a little dependent on how high you have it turned up.
But overall,
Overall, I'd say it's pretty solid. Touch here. And then I pulled out another new tool from the box. Zycar XI3 Tech. Very simple looking.
Great cutter.
They're kind of in
they're
between.
awesome.
They're not as expensive as the other XI3s, and they're more expensive than XI2s. Little upgrade titanium blades, and then the rubberized sides. It's just really solid, really nice.
And it
cut.
has that cool silver
Yeah.
matte finish
Yeah,
on
it's
it
matte
too.
finish.
That's a great
solid,
lighter.
solid cut. What do you spark up with over there, Seth? We haven't brought one of those out yet.
yeah, it's the Rocky lightsaber.
The Rocky Patel lightsaber.
Yeah, the lightsaber.
Well, it is.
Let the flame be with you.
For those technical people out there, it's the Diplomat 2. They just came out with one. It's not on the. They haven't shipped them yet, but they're. I've got some coming. They're like little pocket versions of that. And they're really, really cool. Some
That's
really
cool.
cool colors.
Wow.
I don't think it's 4 flames. I don't remember.
There
Or
is
5 actually.
Wow.
5, yeah.
there is a kind of, you know, like before when we talked about that kind of grill barbecue flavor, and I'm getting that, you know,
It's got
the
those-
protein,
That
protein
grill
char,
marks.
Yeah. That's
that
the first thing I
protein
picked up
char,
on, too.
almost like, and I hate to say this because this is kind of a weird analogy and probably not that most appetizing, but it's like a grilled chicken. You know what I mean? I get that charry flavor, but there's
Crispy.
there's a protein flavor in there that I'm getting. A sweetness too,
That's gonna
which
paradise.
which is kind of like maybe you would get from like a barbecue sauce or something like that. And I know that's way out there, and that's not, you know, the identical
Right.
flavors I'm getting, but I'm getting
I'm not smoking a chicken.
right,
But-
right, not smoking barbecue
Right.
chicken cigars.
Still
Well,
some sweetness.
We'll
I don't-
we'll leave it to you with the weird analogy, like
Well,
dill pickle. And
You know,
No,
it
no, no.
wasn't dill
It was
pickle,
dill.
it was dill.
dill. I'm sorry.
Dill flour. But I will tell you that, you know, your olfactory senses have a lot. It's at your number one memory sense, and you know, not too many cigars do we get where you bang out place it. You're like, oh, that tastes like peanut. That tastes like, you know, citrus. That tastes like cedar. You know, you can nail them. Sometimes it's a indistinguishable flavor, and a lot of times I feel it's like from a memory that you have, as opposed to
An
You know.
actual thing.
correct.
Yeah. It's got some bite on the nostrils, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it
peppery.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
Yeah, that
peppery.
retro is something.
Not so much on the tongue, but the retro.
Just this aroma of the smoke itself is really peppery.
How's your draw?
It's a little tight, but
I got a little tight. I got a little
I'm
stem.
not. I'm great.
It's
But
a nice
I-
firm.
I feel
It's
like if
very
I
firm
would have
feeling
V-cut, I
cigar.
might not have such a good draw.
but you
I
did V-cut.
I did, and
So-
it's fantastic.
I think it's firm, but not like it's not like trying to go through a coffee stir.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I don't know. It's kind of like trying to suck a milkshake through a straw.
Yours is.
Yeah. I think it'll loosen up. They usually do.
Sometimes I get halfway through and it'll clear up
Or you
too.
just
Yeah.
kind of like
I would like-
lightly roll it between
Massage
your
it.
fingers.
I always ruin the cap that way, you know, because I get frustrated when I don't get a good draw.
Yeah.
It's got some nice tooth on it, though.
Oh,
Some
it
good
looks
texture. It's a
fantastic.
rustic.
what are you sipping on?
This week I am doing some of the Bambouk Caribbean rum from Barbados. It is a rum drink that's banana infused. It has some vanilla to it. And what's this wrap in this?
This is the Mexican San Andreas
Oscuro.
Oscuro. 2.5
Goes.
double fermented.
Goes fantastic.
I just got coffee and cream. My huge. Can't go wrong though.
It's definitely firm, but the flavor is there. I mean, it's not a big smoke producer, but it's good flavor. It's
Mine's going crazy.
char.
Mine's light and light.
It's almost like
There's a
you talk-
char.
Well, you're talking
Yeah,
about the
there's
char.
definitely char
but
there.
Yeah.
it's almost like for me, I feel like it's like the char where it's like almost caramelized.
Yeah.
Because you're getting char with sweetness.
That's what I'm getting. That's what I was saying. Like that.
Because in the
Like
beginning on a cold draw, you get the molasses.
Yeah. So you're getting like
Yeah,
that.
just
Like not to go into that analogy again, but that charred chicken with barbecue sauce kind of thing. You're getting that sweet molasses. You're getting that char flavor, and maybe
Well-
maybe I'm just identifying with barbecue
But
chicken.
then a little
you know,
peppery too.
But there's
Yeah.
definitely some spice to it. Great wrap too on it, by the way. Great ring on it.
Mexican
Yeah.
San Andreas is one of my favorite. Nice full power. I think this one. I think that how much they double fermented for so long, it almost tames it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as like robust as when I think of this wrapper.
It's
I mean,
not weak by any means.
It's
but
robust. I mean, it's not crazy, but
Ooh, that is on that retro. That is a
It's
nose
your eye
hair
water.
burner.
Get you.
Any other spice? Anybody else? Anybody getting any cocoa or any?
Tiny bit of
I
cocoa.
think maybe a little.
Mm-hmm. I think this
Still pretty.
sweetness of this is kind of bringing it out, and I lit a little bit ahead of you too.
See, that's why I went with
grilled food for whatever reason.
Grilled food.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like all that smoky goodness you would get when you were grilling something. The flavor I get is almost the smell you would get if you were grilling chicken, barbecued chicken. You know, that just caramely char molasses. It's one thing I will say about San Cristobal's too is their labels are just phenomenal. I mean, all those tropical colors with the bird. That's very cool looking. And I also like how it's a double band, but they're connected.
Yeah, this whiskey's good. I was thinking bamboo, but I kind of like when I did the bamboo before, I think it's too sweet.
Not with this.
No?
No. And I was kind of questioning my choice. I figured, what the hey, go for it. And it's nice because this does have a molasses sweetness, and this counters that a little bit, or coincides with it, and it releases a few more other flavors. The banana's nice with this too, because you think of that char, a little bit of cocoa.
Wood.
That banana, it's a stronger flavor, so they kind of complement. It's that sweet and sour kind of, you know. It's good. I normally reserve the bamboo for a real dark wrap.
You a little heavy retro or something on there?
One tier, just one clean.
Close. First one I went heavy.
You know, I think it's worth mentioning. I mean, just this is one of the top lines. This and Noblesse from La Aroma, all Ashton products made by my father. It's nothing to beat on Ashton, but they actually don't make any of their own cigars.
I think it's
Anything that
still
says
good.
Ashton is made by Fuente the Dominican, but anything that's La Aroma de Cuba, San Cristobal, Nicaragua with my father, Don Pepin Garcia.
Killer.
And all of their smokes are fantastic.
Well, I mean, both sides. I mean, like this one, in their line, I'd love to get into some of the core San Cristobal stuff just because they're solid for the price point. This is what, 15 MSRP.
Yeah, I'd say between right around the $14, $15 mark.
Yeah.
Watch that retro. That's all I gotta tell you.
Lost a couple nose hairs, did it?
Yep.
It's pretty spicy on that retro.
But not too much though.
Yeah,
It stings the nostrils.
it's
On the
Just
retro,
right.
yeah.
It's
I'm picking
spicy.
up more on the tongue.
It's spicy and peppery, but again, and I wouldn't quite go with that cayenne, but there's definite more flavor to the spice than just a black pepper. There's a spice that I can't identify, but there's, again, it's that whole grilling, cooking, you know, it's I don't know.
I like that whiskey pair. It's good.
That's a great whiskey.
It's just a good pair because you got a little sweetness and you still have a little of that rye going on.
A little bit of that
I
port
almost
finish.
went with, and I kind of regretting my decision. Not really, because this is really good, but I almost went with Angel's Envy Rye, which I think would have also been a good pair. A little sweetness, the rum, Cascade, rye, Kentucky Straight Rye.
Well, and you know, you got this label. It's tropical. This is a real interesting cigar. There's some very odd, pleasant flavors going on with it.
A little hard to put your finger on.
Yeah, it's making me. Okay, I want another hit. Where's that coming from? What is that?
This is a smoke that takes a lot of thought, as
Yeah.
opposed to a thoughtless smoke.
This is very complex.
Does anybody get like,
Yeah.
you get it a lot with these kind of dark ones, kind of the barnyardy.
Yeah, I got that on the
Yeah,
initial
kinda what I was
nose.
thinking too.
I just got a ton of cocoa on that.
There's some cocoa in it,
That's kinda-
especially in that
I
beginning
think
piece.
you get them about an inch in, it changes over.
It did, and that's when I started getting that cocoa flavor. Very pleasant cigar.
I haven't had one of these in a long time.
Have to add this one to the repertoire.
Well, a little easier said than done, unfortunately.
Right.
Why is that at least harder to get?
I don't think they're in regular production yet. I don't think they ever will be.
I think they do. They release 2,000 boxes.
Yeah.
So.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's interesting. Like cocoa and pepper.
Yeah, I mean
Together,
the
it's
It's
flavors
like a
on it.
spicy hot chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting this
Like
grilling, which is
what's that,
savory flavors.
Mexican
Then
hot
I'm getting the
chocolate?
pepper, and then I'm
No,
getting the
like,
cocoa.
Like they do a mocha with cayenne pepper on top.
Yeah, I get
It's got
hints.
that
It is very Aztec, Mayan style of. It's a gangbuster cigar.
I'm still a little. It's a firm draw, but not too.
Mine's
bad.
getting a little bit better.
It's firm.
It is firm,
Firm.
but it doesn't hold back. I mean, if you hit it, it's coming.
It's hard in the lighting, but this ash is. I think
Nice
we'll
and white.
lose this one. Nice and white, not flaking at all.
No, it's looking just like the wrap, and then you see the layers.
Burns a little wonky.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
not
not
razor
terrible,
sharp
though.
burn, but
But this is one of those. I mean, you look at that wrap too. I mean, this thing is just undulation and bumpy, and and the veins from the wrap, and
I like that though.
I do
I mean,
too.
some cigars are beautiful when they're almost perfect, but I like the imperfections.
I'm leaning towards that cayenne pepper.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you get that sense of going back and having a mocha.
Mm-hmm.
hot
The
cocoa with hot cocoa
with
with
some cayenne pepper
but like-
sprinkled on top.
cocoa powder.
It gives you that.
It'll get
Yeah, and it gives you that pepper to where you're just like that.
Doesn't
You're
happen
like,
often.
whew, that's a nice little bite.
just ash. I want to see what it's like with the purge.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what this thing brings.
Ooh, picks back up.
Your ash looks awesome.
You gotta really.
It's going good. I'm gonna lose it though on the table. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Hey, you
all
gotta keep tradition up, Dan.
traditional.
Yeah.
We're gonna
You
get.
strap that
Not-
right here.
Look how
put it right
look
here.
how white his ash is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is ridiculous.
It's really good.
They
So-
all look different.
What do they say about the color of the ash?
White,
Mineral
solid,
qualities
yeah.
and soil.
Yeah,
There's something sexy about a white ash.
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it, from what I understand anyway,
We're
is
talking about that.
Oh God, I knew it was coming.
Uh,
I saw it. I'm like, I'm hoping
Yeah.
Dan doesn't
well,
break into his 5-year-old.
just like usual, went for a PG-13 X, just like that.
Just
the,
got
the
weird.
bid is required.
Yeah.
So.
I'm
No,
gonna buy
it's a
him. I'm
mineral
buying him a
quality.
bib. We're buying you a bib.
Bib?
You're getting a bib.
Get one
An
of
You're
those,
ash.
like
An
a
ash.
little slide.
You're like one of the things you gotta wear. You go to a crab restaurant. You like put it out on the
I
table.
was thinking a little kid one that has the pocket in the bottom.
Yeah, you can hold your
Put a
liquor.
little
bowl
water in
underneath.
there so
Just
it
a bowl
puts the
underneath.
ash out. I thought you were going to wear your tie tonight.
I look weird with that outfit.
Yeah, it would look weird. Why would I wear a tie with a t-shirt?
Yeah, like he said it and then you jumped on it.
Yeah, he's jumping on the train.
It would have had to have been stripes too, just to
Yeah, just to
Fight
mix
with
it all
all
up.
of the other
Yeah,
designs
a lot of
going
stuff
on here.
going on there.
Actually, funny because going thrift store shopping, I found these like 1980s, 70s golf pants.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Like your
going
hat.
back and buying
Hell
them.
yeah.
Yes.
Like your hat. Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh,
They're yellow.
yeah.
I'm like, I gotta go.
Like
back
some of
and
the John
buy them.
Daly would wear.
I purged it and I'm getting that barbecue again. I'm getting that charry.
Intensity picks back up.
Oh
once you
my
get the
goodness.
purge.
So yeah, next time I'm gonna have to wear the golf, get a golf outfit, like the old school suit coats. Be funny.
Get you a green Masters jacket. Some white plaid pants.
Just come in with the
Come
old
summer, we'll be.
wood style driver.
Boys. I was thinking about it. We gotta do. I don't know where. We gotta do like a a crisp wintertime outdoor cigar around a fire. I think that'd
It'd be really cool. It's
be
like
fun.
We'll do it
the
at my
igloo
house.
style.
I got a great fire pit.
that'd be a blast.
Yeah,
This
once we get some
I mean,
snow, I'll carve out some seats. and
It's
we'll
one of
sit
those
down
things.
and do it.
awesome.
People always go, "Oh, it's wintertime. I can't smoke cigars outside," but you can.
You
Oh,
just
it's
gotta
a-
dress appropriately.
It's one of the
Oh,
most
yeah.
perfect times to do
It
it.
is. It's just nice. You sit out there. It's crisp, cool, quiet.
quiet.
It would be cool too to even in like those igloo ones they create, and you have a little fire pit in the middle.
Are you building an igloo?
Nope.
Say, I'm not building a fucking igloo.
I'll find somebody to do it.
Know any Eskimos?
I mean, there's probably a few around here.
We're north, but we're not.
That north.
It's crazy to think it's already snowing in Colorado and Montana,
Oh, it
and
has been for
Canada.
weeks.
Oh God.
We're almost a month now.
You know,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's like we always.
Look at the size of that label. That's a honker.
Nicely done too.
It's one of those
That's a
ones.
honker.
It's got a lot of detail. The gold
Here you go. Put
leafing.
that in your.
It is its own.
No, you can have another.
Yeah. If he didn't smoke, he's not putting it in there.
I gotta smoke another one then. I'll just finish yours.
He'll leave like this much. He'll pick it up out of the ashtray.
Better bring some
The
friends.
toothpick.
You
This has a lot of
You
flavor.
got too many
over there.
things. You put that up in front.
Yeah, put that up there too, will you?
It's a lot of stuff.
You gotta put it up there. You gotta showcase it. You get a box for it.
Nice selection, sir. Very well done.
Yeah, thanks. It looked right.
Yep.
Some of the fun things, like he just traveled, picked this up for us, and I just traveled, picked us up something to do another time, and it's nice. It's always
Dan
nice.
traveled.
It's always nice going to another local cigar shop. You know, you travel, you go, different selection, different stuff. Like, oh, one of
The
those.
local B&O.
That's worth mentioning. You know, as obviously we wholeheartedly support. You know,
Every
our followers,
every
everybody,
tobacco store.
go to your local B&M, brick and mortar. Go there.
Oh, and you can find some gems
Exactly.
too. I was out in Texas on a road trip, and I found, I don't know how I found it, but it was the remainder of a box of, I think they had like 7 years on them at the time.
they were like
It
almost
was like
original.
one of the original LFD lines.
No, they were Lido Gomez.
No,
They weren't
it was,
even-
it was the LFD.
Oh, they were- oh,
yeah,
they were
'cause I picked up
LFDs, that's
Lido too.
right,
I found
yeah.
some of those, but I have one left. I wish
Hanging on
wish
to
I
it.
had more.
Yeah.
But dude, the cello, I mean, it looks
We'll
like
just,
it's gonna
we can
crumble.
just
It's-
puff pass.
That's the beauty of a cigar. They're made to be smoked, man. You know, you want it's like wine. You want to age them, but they're designed to be smoked. They have a shelf life. You
I
know.
know. I just wish I had more.
I mean, they do have a shelf life.
It's hard to smoke by yourself because you want to enjoy that with someone.
Right.
It's one of those things.
Agreed. Somebody else who's going to enjoy it. I don't know how many bottles of wine that I had were fantastic, and there's very select people that I'll call over and say, "Hey, come on over and enjoy this with me." You know, it's got to be drank this year, and you know, because you know, you get that person that goes, "Whoop," and I'm like, "Well, that was a $400 bottle of wine, and you just gulp down about $30 right there. How was it? Oh, it's delicious. You know, really?
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
It's like the 21st birthday shot of, you know, Louis or Blue Label or something that.
Or we've talked about this before, where you know you break out that you always keep some straggler cigars in your humidor because you know when you have one and then you give it to somebody and they smoke this beautiful cigar and then also you know they're like they set it down and they smoked a third of it, if that.
They cut a half inch off the head.
Yeah.
No,
What are you doing?
This is what I've learned, and I tell people this. I don't take any cigar. If I'm gonna take cigars on the golf course, I take maybe some nice ones for me. But guys on the course take $2 cigars.
Yeah.
They smoke half of it, chuck it in the woods, and go.
Forget
Can I have another one? You're like, yeah, sure.
That's
It's
two
$2.
holes back. Go get
You're
it.
hanging out with the wrong people.
I've had a couple times where I like.
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
I rested on the the rubber part of the glass of the golf cart, and then I grab a club. I'm like, oh, go ahead, and they drive away. I'm like, get in the car to get into the green. I'm like, oh, shit, my cigar is somewhere. Like, oh wow,
It's a sad moment.
that was the best part about my golf game this year. Was the cigars.
So how would you rate this? Medium?
Mid plus.
I'd kick it up to a
Mid
mid
plus?
plus
Plus.
for sure.
It's not full. I wouldn't say it's.
It's a
full.
big smoke.
I mean,
for
us, that's worth prefacing.
In the general line, I would say it's a full-bodied smoke. I've fried my palate lately, I'm sure. So,
Right.
like we said
I'd say
before,
because
it's
of the
harder to
complexity,
find
it's
a.
definitely up there.
The complexity, and that's a great word. I'm glad you're using the calendar. I've got you.
I broke it out.
This really is.
New
this,
month.
this really.
Oh,
That's exactly.
complexity.
That's exactly the word for this cigar is complexity.
I never
because-
cough, and this has hit me a couple times.
Yeah, this is something, and it is no joke of a cigar.
I wonder how this would age over a few years.
I wonder if it would
It'd
mellow or
mellow out a
intensify.
bit.
That's the one thing I've had the conversation with people. It's like really only cigars like this are the only ones that are really kind of worth aging. You know, you age a Connecticut, what are you gonna get?
What are the
Yeah.
tasting notes on this?
Dark cocoa,
Mhm.
wood, leather, sweet hickory, and those are the notes from the
I read-
Ashton.
I read
so-
one that
So-
said pepper, coffee, barnyard.
I just got some wood, and it
Mhm.
was,
I'd say the hickory for sure.
you know,
Right
and
now.
maybe that's, you know, because I'm not familiar with that, you know, flavor profile aside from doing a hard smoke, but maybe therein lies the barbecue thing too. And
Like a nice smoking.
well, like that you
Hickory
get
wood
that
for smoking.
spicy, yeah, because the hickory, mesquite, those are that kind of
Well,
spicy.
I tell you, I haven't purged yet with this thing, and it's building, and I can taste the pepper, the dark cocoa. Now you'd say hickory. I definitely taste hickory.
Adam, I hope you have a good grill because we're gonna have to kick that up next summer.
Oh yeah, I
Work
got
on
a
our,
grill and a smoker.
tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to smell this fresh dill to the floral.
You can smell it anywhere you want, man. It's in your store, it's in the fields, it's everywhere.
Sorry, Dan's a dough weed.
Yeah.
I know.
Is Dill one of the
I
ones
just
like
can't help it that your palate's not as refined.
is Dill one of those ones like chives where it grows back every year? You can replant it.
They self seeds.
Yeah, so it grows back.
Yeah.
Remember as a kid we had chives that
Chives.
always came back. We even replanted them. They came back every year.
I have
And-
chives
Yeah,
everywhere.
and the other one, and I always forgot to cut it down, was asparagus.
Oh yeah.
You forget to cut it. You're like, oh, it's like this long. I'm gonna wait. It looks perfect, and then you forget, and you go back a week and a half later, and it's like an asparagus
flower.
tree. It's an asparagus
Yeah.
tree. You're like, oh, I can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
Cut it down, and it
So
grows back
good.
again. That stuff grows fast.
Yeah.
You're like, a week later,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
So I wonder if
Asparagus is
asparagus
one of my
hinders.
favorites.
I don't know. We had a discussion a couple weeks ago, Seth and I, about pairing foods and drinks. One of our friends was talking about we always smoke cigars and pair it with something, and asparagus is one of those that does not go well with red wine. And
a white wine.
and well, there's very few wines that go with it, and that was his question: was I wonder how asparagus goes with cigars, because there is an acid in asparagus that ruins your taste buds for other things, and that would be interesting because they're all aged and they're all fermented. So you know what I mean. I'm curious as to if that would have the same effect.
Not for pairing purposes, but it's always. I mean, asparagus is one of those things. You go to a restaurant, you get a nice cut of steak, comes with asparagus.
Yeah,
Get a nice cut of fish.
It's a
comes
great-
with asparagus.
it's a great
cut of chicken
vegetable.
comes with asparagus.
it's my favorite vegetable.
Yeah, it's.
For sure, but I don't eat it often if I'm doing wine,
Oh man, one of
because I would rather have the wine and the protein than
With
the
another
asparagus. You know,
I worked in this restaurant where they had one soup on all the time, and then they make like the guys in the kitchen just make stuff. And one of my favorite things is split asparagus soup.
Mhm.
Oh, they did a split asparagus soup with like a paprika oil.
Ooh,
Just drop it on the top. Oh,
smoked paprika.
Ooh. Ho, ho.
I like asparagus. I eat it raw. Wash it and eat it raw.
Asparagus
It's
is
so
fantastic.
good.
I'm what's the word? Indemnify myself again. I always eat raw green beans in the grocery store.
Yeah. Fresh
You
out of
were
the garden,
just-
just
what-
wash
what
it and
is
eat
going
it.
on?
Why?
Wow.
Taste 'em.
criminal
Yeah.
life you lead.
When I was a kid, I'd eat the parsley leaves.
He also told me about when they go and pick apples. He eats like a dozen apples.
Oh,
Just
it's more
picks
than a
them.
dozen.
God, binge eat apples.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, you give me the little, what is it,
Clementine.
Clementines.
That's
there.
next month on the
The
calendar.
fruit calendar. Yeah.
Clementine.
Those, I'll eat a whole bag of those things in it.
Days for apple.
Yeah. You know what I found interesting as a kid? I love clementines. I could never eat oranges.
Oh,
Oh,
oranges are my
oranges.
favorite.
You know,
So hit or miss.
something interesting
drink a
about
gallon
oranges
of
that the
orange
name
juice.
of it is also a color. No other
Mhm.
word is like that.
It's the only color you can taste.
You know, an orange is an orange is an orange.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Not to get philosophical.
it's like what is that?
See what we're saying here, Dan.
Yeah.
No, we gotta get this one for Dan. I think it's 6 of them. Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. So you have the Buffalo, the animal, Buffalo, New York. I don't even remember, but that's
Hey,
actually,
great story.
It's actually it's a set. Buffalo, 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 Buffalo sentence.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Huh.
Oh God.
Thanks, Grandpa, for your
I'm
story.
out. See ya.
I can make
Good
a
night.
sentence with another word,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I am. It's a
Leave that
noun,
one
a
out
verb,
there,
and an
yeah.
adjective. Yep.
oh, and another note on this was a creamy potency.
Hmm.
I read
That sounds like a
not
made-up thing.
Potent for sure.
Yeah,
read a,
yeah. That no lie on that.
Another thing, a descriptor I read that I thought was interesting, and I think it does fit, is hardy.
Mm-hmm. That'd go real well after steak.
After
This is
a
an after.
nice dinner. Oh.
Dan's the winner.
Wow.
This thing's really
And
good.
let's see if he puts
Now-
it on the table this week.
This is. I've been watching this thing. It's burning sharp right now. It's
Yours is
extremely
burning
white.
Really well.
Yours is
And it's
incredibly
not.
white.
It's not wavy. It's not droopy. It's solid. That's when I'm like, wow, this thing's like standing.
Come on, Danny
firm.
boy, get the whole thing. No ashing.
This one must have had the Viagra plant next to it, the pill next to it. It's standing firm and strong.
All right, we got
There's a lot of zinc in
we
there.
got we got to tag Viagra on the video now.
That's what I was going for.
We're on their
Brand
we're on their
awareness.
next commercial. You know, there's Dan sitting in the bathtub with a cigar.
I don't ever
Why
want
is
to
there a
smoke this
flagpole?
cigar again.
Holding the hands of an 80-year-old.
Well, like I was looking at yours. Yours was
It's
kind
also
of
a man.
drooping a little bit, and you turned it.
Yeah,
This thing is just
you have the perfect ash going right now. That's
beaming,
fairly
solid.
impressive. Fairly impressive.
And you can see all the veins and everything that you can see back here. You see up
That's always
there. Where the wrap laid. where
that's always
everything
been
lays.
a thing for me when you look at that ash and you see that burnt leaf and the sections as it's rolled. I mean, you can see every seam in that. I mean, that is just the coolest thing. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, don't ash that. We'll have to take a picture of it.
The veins have a lot to do with the Viagra.
Oh my!
How's that bamboo?
I try to keep it nice for everybody, but you
Side
know
note.
it's hard with these two.
Poor terminology.
Oh,
You volunteered to do this with us. We can be the Leaf 3 review.
3-leaf. No, because 3-leaf would have been like a marijuana plant.
oh my!
That
Would have been
It's
a
like
clover.
5.
or a clover.
That's like 1, 2. That's 5.
I don't. Oh, I guess I don't know. I don't smoke marijuana.
Yeah, we need to get them. We need to get them one of those counting calendars next.
Yeah,
This has
can we
just
get
gone
that too?
downhill.
1,
2.
2.
Ooh.
Well, there's times I gotta
Three.
take my shoes off the count. Come on now. You only have so many fingers on a hand.
You only have 2 shoes. 1.
Oh my!
Have you
Oh.
purged recently?
Yeah,
Oh, the second
it's a
person.
fantastic
Nice.
smoke. I mean, no, hands down
I'm gonna do a little
in my
fire
top
purge.
5.
I just did a second purge. It didn't pick up nearly as. Oh, on the table. Keeping it consistent, Dan.
Tradition.
Getting them a bib.
Tradition.
Should have kept the ashtray there. Would have been right in there.
Gotta keep tradition. Don't knock it.
Every single week, it's sponsored by a new vacuum. This week, sponsored by Hoover.
Right. Tag Hoover now.
Yeah. Hoover, send us a vacuum. Or Dyson. It's nice. Still, for me, the draw is still firm, but not overly so.
It's definitely mellowed out as far as the
Goes
draw.
right back.
Yeah, the purge is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like the flavor right after you purge it.
It's just really fresh and right back to the original.
If you do a little flame purge,
Man, I'm getting a little. Anybody else getting a little
Lightens
zing,
it up
little
a
zing
lot.
on the lips?
Nope.
On the lips, I'm getting just a little zing from the leaf.
This cigar is like, there's so much to it. I can't even pinpoint anything at all to it.
Yeah, it's not even that one thing over another. I mean, that cocoa that's thrown in there is just it's so out of place, yet it blends perfectly with all the other flavors.
That's nice. I like that a lot.
Well, I'll say it. This is in my top 5. It's a great cigar.
Great cigar. It's not one of those everyday ones, though.
No, it is not.
be a great after dinner.
Great after dinner. Watch that retro.
That retro's spicy. Gives a nice sting to the nostrils.
Yep.
Cocktail sauce.
Yeah, definitely wasabi-ish.
Horseradishy.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a hint of some. It's just like one of those super brief flavors that I probably won't get again, but like almost like a green bean. Just that after, like a green vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
But it was it was there and
That last puff was not nice. That was weird. It just kind of got a little. I don't know. Let's see if it changed.
Cocoa and leather.
Oh yeah, right back.
It's funny though how you can have that one puff that is just so
that
different
elusive,
than all the others.
that elusive dillweed puff.
So we're calling it the elusive dillweed puff.
Nothing?
No comments?
No,
Peanut
I-
gallery? No? Peanut gallery?
I'm trying to really feel this flavor. It's so like in-depth and complex.
Wow,
But
those
even
are two
like
big
the
words for him.
proportions change with each puff.
Yeah, I looked at your calendar.
You know, I mean, yeah, they
More
use
words.
a pretty consistent filler, but I mean, that one little section can have just a touch more of this one and just a touch more of that one, and it can make some.
The
pretty
complexity.
decent changes.
The complexity is overwhelming.
Actually, talking about the filler, I had, I didn't pull it out, it just kind of fell off. I had stem sticking out. That's actually an interesting thing to touch on, because people are always like, stem! And you pull it, you don't realize the problem is you pull that stem, you're pulling that
It's
tobacco.
still
like a
attached
knot.
to the leaf.
It's
Yeah,
like
you're,
a knot.
You're taking that,
You
and you're
know?
pulling all that leaf up to the head of the cigar.
Yep.
People are like, oh, stem, rip it out. I'm like, no. That was one of the things we had Hamlet here rolling. Is, you know, they take that middle part of the leaf and
Yes.
it's just so there's always a little stem in there. People
Yep.
are like, stem, rip it out, just destroys it.
If it's not hindering,
No,
I mean,
just leave it
sometimes it does. But
I've had that
I mean,
happen.
if you need to cut the end off enough to maybe not annoy the shit out of you,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't try pulling it. You're
I've
just gonna
had
make
that
yours worse.
happen on cigars. Oddly enough, I had that Hamlet earlier today,
Liberation.
the Liberation, and it was that torpedo roll. What is that? What is that?
I think that's just the. I think that's just the Toro.
Is
It's a
it?
big
They
Toro,
put a
though.
little.
It's a 55 ring.
They
gauge.
put a little.
It's not quite a chisel
It's like
tip,
a,
but
it's almost like a bellicoso.
bellicoso. And you know, and I try and stay away from the torpedoes and that for that reason, you know, because you're bringing all of that, everything from that wrap right down to a point. And also the cap on it, I find tends to be a little touchy sometimes. I'll always try and do a V cut. I like to call it my fishtail. You know, I like that feel in my mouth. on a perfecto or whatever it may be, and once in a while I'll get that. I know it's just
Coffee.
it's
really nice.
I just got like a very coffee.
it is
heavy
the
coffee
amount of
note.
flavors coming off from this stick is just ridiculous, and they're not flavors that I would put together, and it works.
It's very complex because we've smoked a lot of cigars, and this thing is just like there's a lot to it.
It
There's
surprises
a
you
lot
all the way
going
through.
on.
Start to finish, it's like, oh, there's this. Wait a minute, now we got that. Wait, now we're.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Garcia.
yeah.
Very like spicy coffee note that hits me on these. The smoke coming out.
We gotta find do I've only had it with you, the Jaime Garcia Reserve. We
Oh.
gotta find some of those. Those are.
Talk about manure. It is so good. That thing, no, that has a very unique
Barnyard.
nose to it.
Yep.
It's one you can like pinpoint.
Yep.
When you smell that cigar, you know what it is.
Yep.
It's awesome.
It's one of those things I love that it's like you open a fresh box of, and there's always different ones, but like Padron for me, you open a fresh box and you just go, it smells like manure. You have people smell it and you're like, what does it smell like? Or like some woman walking, it smells like shit. That's terrible. Like no, that's
so good.
fantastic.
Well, gentlemen,
Smells like money.
how are we gonna rate this cigar?
Oh, awesome. I will.
I'd give it an
definitely-
easy, what, 90 out of 100 for me? Easy. I wouldn't go
Say
crazy,
90 out of
but
100. It's complex as hell. I'm
It's a
still
really
trying to
good
like
smoke.
pinpoint everything.
Yeah.
I would recommend smoking this when you're gonna sit down, enjoy it. You
Have
can
some time.
focus on it. Not
Yes.
when you're. It's definitely not a yardstick.
It's not a it's
Or,
not an everyday either.
Smoke while you work.
No.
You definitely want to pay attention and get everything you can out of it.
Yeah.
But I would definitely recommend it.
well, I think let's go a little bit further here, getting this final dive in. We're almost to the final third, and get a couple notes, and we'll take this to the comfy seats.
Well, I only have one thing to say about it, and they named it Ovation, and it's an ovation. It is
Deserves a
it
standing ovation.
it is a fine smoke.
I've been standing this whole time. I don't know what you guys talking about.
It is a fine cigar.
Fun fact for the Leaf
It
review:
is not
Dan
an
stands
everyday
every
cigar.
episode.
The complexity of it is beyond.
I definitely see why they call it Ovation because
Yeah.
it's just like it's a mind-blowing, complex, great smoke. It's just
Not a beginner smoke.
no, far from it. There's so much to get from this thing.
It's kind of funny too with I don't actually know how it is, but in the United States, everybody likes to say San Cristobal. I think it's technically San Cristobal.
Huh.
I read something about that.
Interesting point. Thanks for sharing that.
Interesting.
I'm not talking. Next episode, I'm not talking. I'm just gonna sit here.
Thank God.
Interesting facts from Alex.
From Alex, yeah. Got him a
Should we dive?
fun fact of the day calendar.
Should we dive into the jokes now?
No, we should not.
We just went from X to canceled.
Well, that was a great one.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was one for the books for sure.
Nice pickup, Seth.
Yeah. Very good choice. It's wow.
It's a gangbuster cigar.
And they did a great job on naming
Everything
it.
about it, presentation, the
The
smoke
color
itself.
scheme too. Just
Yeah.
what's this, magenta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has this
Good
definite
contrast with the dark Oscuro wrapper.
definite tropical feel to it. It is something.
Well, final thoughts. Wrap this up and finish this puppy up.
If you find one, pick one up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
pick it up at your local store.
Sit down, enjoy it, and grab yourself a nice drink to go
Yeah,
with it.
have a nice dinner and get this one after
Be
because
careful on the retro hail.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
careful with
spicy.
that spice.
It's
Why
got
not?
a kick.
Well,
It's good.
On that note,
till next week
till next week.
from Leaf 4 Review.
You guys have a good one.